not what you think. It just came out of nowhere, and I just don't know. Like, it's kind of crazy. Hello, beautiful people. Oh my gosh, it has been so motherfucking long since I sat in front of my camera to make a video for YouTube. How are you guys doing? Like, actually pause the video and let me know in the comments below, especially with everything that's going on, aka COVID-19, or according to our president, COVID-19. How's everybody doing? How's isolation treating you? What is the craziest part of isolation? I feel like for me, the craziest part of isolation now is realizing the emotional standing between my daughter and I feel like we might have to get a divorce after this, like the Chinese people. It's so good to be here. This video is going to just be like a bunch of random babbling, if I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. There's no part of me that feels like this video is going to make sense, but I needed to make something to get me back in the swing of things. As you can see, I'm even wearing purple lipstick to match my purple chair, and it was even unintentional. Oh my god, like, that's a little bit crazy. I really thought that I was never going to come back to YouTube, if I'm being completely honest, and I felt like if I did, I would probably come back like years later, like after another child and like after a lot of other things happened. But I'm so happy that God decided to pause so much of the world so that a lot of us can do things that we might not ordinarily have the opportunity to do. I asked on my Instagram, what would you guys like me to talk about in this update video and coming back video? I'm coming back. I'm back. I'm not coming back, I'm back. And a lot of you said I should talk about Zoe. Lots of you said I should talk about how life has been as a mom. Lots of you said I should talk about how life has been in general, so like work, like business, like relationship and stuff like that. So, because obviously I can't fit all of that in one video because I'm not a crazy person, I think it's just important to divide these and partition these into as many videos as possible. So, because the Zoe updates and the My Life as a Mom updates were the most popular, I'll start off with those. How has life been as a mom? It has been so time consuming. I can't even lie to you guys. I still would never refer to being a mom as hard work, but then at the same time, it is tedious work. Like, it requires a lot of time and attention. It is significantly easier if you have a partner that is understanding, and is also even significantly easiest when you are willing to ask for help, which is a big problem that I had in the beginning, was that it was just so difficult for me to ask for help. But we are surrounded by we, I mean Zoe and I, we are surrounded by our family and friends most of the time. So the task in all of it has just been figuring out how I can get off my high horse and get off my I can do anything horse and actually asking for help. Zoe's dad and I don't live too far away from each other, so she can afford to literally walk. She walks. Zoe's walking. Zoe started walking. I told you this is going to be random. Zoe started walking maybe when she was like 9-10 months, very lazily. Like, she would take steps and then go back to her crawling and stuff, and she did that up till her birthday, like her actual birthday. The day right after her birthday, she just absolutely stopped crawling, like in general. When I hear stories like this, I always used to think that, I always just thought that people made it up, like how can your child just automatically just stop crawling at a certain time or whatever. But like from 9ish, maybe middle of 9 months to 12 months on the dot, Zoe would walk a little, crawl a little, walk a little, crawl a little. As soon as the day she reached 9 months, 12 months and a day, she was on. She was running. She was everywhere, and it was just a bit mad. One of the things I'm really thankful for is that she has hit all her milestones on time, both the mental and the physical. And for me, I know deep in my heart that those things are not important and that every child does things differently. But because of the whole anxiety part of my life, I can't deny the fact that, like, at a certain point in time, if I felt like, oh yeah, she was supposed to be having teeth and she wasn't having teeth, it would have bothered me. It wouldn't have bothered me enough to speak out. It would have probably been one of those things that I would just be thinking in my mind and fixating on. but at the same time it would have bothered me nonetheless. So I'm so thankful that God just took that stress off the table. Zoe and I weaned each other. My period did not come back until I think 10 months. When was she 10 months? No, almost 11 months actually. I think my period came back in the beginning of February. Like came back. So as soon as my period came back, my boob just went zoop back inside, like deuce it go be. And as a result of that, I automatically just knew that yeah, it was time to wean. Like I was really trying to be one of those parents that was like, yeah, no, we'll wait till 1 year exactly, you know, rat-ta-ta-ta-ta. But to be honest, my body was telling me something different, and she was telling me something different as well. She goes to daycare, or she went to daycare before this quarantine situation because I've started NYSC. More on that in another video. And as a result of that, we were already going to not be breastfeeding regularly anymore, because during the period and the time that she's in school, she was not going to be breastfeeding. So I basically just took the opportunity to wean her. If any of you moms out there want a video, like a story time on exactly how I weaned Zoe, then just let me know and I will make a story time specially for that. But yeah, she is weaned. The two things that are on my menu right now and that I'm going to try my best to achieve during quarantine. Okay, now I can't achieve one anymore. I was supposed to be sleeping on her own, but then we have an issue with her crib, which is like a whole other story in itself. Guys, there's so much that has happened. There's like a hole in Zoe's crib right now, which is why she's not sleeping in the crib. So that one will just have to wait until like we can get someone in, or the guy that made the crib to come in and like fix the broken boards, I guess you can say. But the other thing that I really want to do is potty train during this period in time. I don't know if it's possible for her to be 100% potty trained in 2 weeks, but then at the same time I'm very eager to start the process of potty training. The third thing that I wanted to achieve, we have achieved, which is to get her to stop sucking her fingers. Like Zoe has been an avid sucker of these two fingers for majority of her life, really. And she had fallen sick 2 times. She had had 2 infections. She has had 2 infections. And every time we went to the hospital, the doctor would be like, oh yeah, you need to stop her from sucking her hand. Rat-ta-ta-ta-ta. And I would always be like, okay, so what do you suggest that we do? Because my child likes the bitter things. So when we put aloe vera on her hand, licks it right up. Bitter leaf, licks it right up. She did not, there was nothing that we did not put. So if you want a detailed video on that as well, I'm willing to share, because the truth of the matter is that one of the things I had to accept coming back on this channel was that I was going to have a lot of mom content. It's just inevitable because I am a mom now, and that is such a huge chunk of my life. Zoe and I are very attached to each other. That has been really tasking for me, because it means that stuff like work from home that a lot of people are able to achieve, I can't really, because the moment I leave her somewhere, she's like running back to me, especially now that she walks. Wow. If I leave her in the living room and just go to get something in the room, by the time I turn back, I'll just see a tiny person behind me and she will be laughing. She's such a goofy child. Like Zoe does things intentionally to make people laugh. There's just, it's not a matter of there not being content to be made. It's just that I know that a lot of people that follow me and subscribe to me are not moms, and some of you might not even really care about motherhood things. So like for me, it just feels like, will I just automatically start making mom content with full knowledge that a lot of you guys don't really care about stuff like that? This is my wine mug, by the way, and there actually is wine inside. It says this is my wine mug and this is my metal straw, which brings me to barefoot, because this is a barefoot product, and this is one of the first things that we're going to be launching post quarantine lockdown. I can't lie and pretend that life in general has not made me a bit more introverted than I was when I started doing YouTube, but then at the same time I miss how I was. Like I miss just feeling something and thinking about it and just doing it. now the whole thing of like being responsible for other people's feelings and how other people are viewed and ratatatam skrapapapa raska raska. I'm good. My heart is good right now. My focus during this period in time is to be more creative, but then more importantly than that is just to find some kind of center with God again. That's really something that I need a lot of assistance with right now, and I'm trying to, my family and I were really trying to get closer to God during this period in time and get closer to each other spiritually, so that's really important to me. The next video is going to be my friend Demi's introduction vlog. So before the lockdown was officially called, even though majority of us were already social distancing, at least I was, and in my family we were. I hadn't been out in like, I can't remember how many days, but I had to just do one more thing before I went into hiding completely, and that was go for Demi's introduction. It was made significantly easier by the fact that it was a smaller gathering. It was in her house. The vlog on that is coming next. Thank you guys so much for watching, and do not forget that you are sugar, you are spice, and you are bomb as jollof rice, honey. Bye. Mwah.